Good afternoon. I'll call the meeting to order for the county board. We'll start with a moment of silence and then the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remember the first responders and those that are putting themselves in harm's way for our safety. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Bill just walked in, Pam.
Okay.
Okay. Item number 3, approval of the minutes from the previous meeting. Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Gene Hoppy, seconded by Randy Young. Is there any questions or comments or discussion? Seeing then, by acclamation, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Item number 4, excuse me. Public comment. Is there anyone in the back wishing to speak under public comment? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to number 5, motion to deviate from the order of agenda if necessary. Motion by Deb Nofke, seconded by Kimberly Leffel. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Chairman's report. I'll try and keep it short, but Jimmy was handing me notes before to make me look good. I have a few things that I thought might be of interest to everybody. And the first one is I'll have Pam scan this and send it to everybody so you have a little more information on it. The construction is scheduled to begin, I believe, next Monday on the not J, 29 and U interchange. And I see they were setting up some barrels and things already today. And then this has the whole listing of like what's going to happen, kind of when, and they're going to close it to one lane each direction. You'll have to switch sides, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me. So this will be emailed to everybody, so you got a little information if anybody asks you what's going on out there and what is going to be happening when. The another item here Jimmy had gave me is June 27th. Is brunch on the farm. We don't have any location, Jimmy, do you know of, or?
Yeah, the Nishki Farm.
Nishki Farm? Okay, so if anybody's interested, you can get out for that. Town of Angelica. Okay, thanks, Ken. On Cedar Road. Okay, the 21st of August, the airport is expected to be done. And along with that note, if you had heard anything lately, they were having trouble blacktopping out to the airport. And what it comes down to, they found in the end is that years ago they used some foundry sand underneath the runway, and it doesn't work. Again, once it gets wet, they can't compact it back down to the way it should be. So they had to take 2 feet out and replace it with good material. And the one contractor that was going to be the sub said that they couldn't find enough trucks and things to do it in a big hurry. So last Friday, they had talked to Jimmy, and Jimmy talked to Grant last Friday and Saturday. Then the county went out, hauled it out, and they're storing it right now at a highway shop here in town. And then they're going to find a place to use it, not the county, but either the airport or whoever's working in Reliant or some of the other ones on a different job, or it may end up in a landfill. But the fortunate thing is the county is going to get paid for all their time for the trucking and the storage and everything at the highway shop. So we could also be getting charged a portion of the bill because it's an overrun, But since we were helping them out, that's what we were told so far. There will be no charge to us or the city for the overage. And the overage, they were estimating was being approximately 600,000. So it's nice not to get involved with that at all. iPads. At the end of the meeting, or when you have some time, it's a long update, you need to drop them off down at TS for a update. We do have a new corp counsel. She is in court right now, and she will be down shortly. We have the resolution today to run that through to pass her approved by the whole board. So we'll take that up then. And at the executive committee, we decided that it wasn't fair to all the employees, because anywhere else you work, you are, you get a holiday. It don't cost you any of your time off. So basically, we're gonna change the policy, we did already, that the 9 holidays will not be charged to their PTO. They will be paid as their regular wages, like I think 99.9% every other employer does. And there is some discussion yet about how to do it at the Sheriff's Department, and we will take that up next month, because theirs is a little different item. The one that we did, we were informed by Corp Counsel that we can do that under the authority of the Executive Committee. But the one for the Sheriff's Department, there's a limited number of employees. So when you give them that day off that's paid, theirs is different from everybody else because somebody still has to work. So then that becomes time and a half, and then that takes a resolution before the whole board to approve that. So that'll be handled separately, but it is coming up. And I believe the only other thing I have is, if you didn't hear yet, if you can keep Steve Dreyer in your thoughts and prayers a little bit. His wife passed away last week, but he is back to work already, and he said he'd rather be here than home mulling around anyway, so just keep Steve in mind a little. With that, you can see all the goodies Pam had for you on your desk. And I received a couple of comments already from some supervisors that I should tell the Wisconsin Counties Association to save some money and stop making out the directory because they never look at it. And I tend to agree. So I'll pass that along. And she does have our little books, county ones, for everybody with the up-to-date information. Oh, okay. Pam was just wondering, by the show of hands, the little yellow book, correct?
Not the little yellow one.
Oh,
from
the other one.
WCA.
Okay. She's wondering by a show of hands, who really would like that official directory from the Counties Association?
The one that has all the counties in it, because they always tell me to make sure I have one for every supervisor, but if you guys don't read them, it doesn't, make sense for me to ask them for one for everybody. The bigger one that has all of the other counties and the, all the elected officials and information about those counties. So if you don't use it, is
This one.
there anybody that doesn't want it?
I think it might be easier if you want the county book, please raise your hand. Ooh, I thought it'd be the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I see 8.
So I'll get about 10 like next year, and then I'll just leave them up here, and those people can just grab them.
Okay. All right, we'll do it that way then. That'll save a few dollars there for them then too. So, all right, with that, then we will move on. Reading of petitions, memorials, communications. Pam, any? Okay, none. We will move on to Item number 8, resolution number 29-21.
Thanking Gordon Kowalski for his 31 years of service to the residents of Shawano County. Whereas Gordon Kowalski began serving as correctional officer for the Shawano County Sheriff's Office on January 1st, 1990, and whereas Gordy has served as a correctional officer, patrolman, detective, and detective sergeant during his career, and whereas as a detective, Gordy worked diligently through many difficult investigations, and whereas Gordy has been recognized for his expertise in computer forensics and his efforts to prevent internet predators from targeting children of Shawano County, and whereas Gordy is held in high regard in law enforcement for his experience and knowledge in investigations and crime scene processing. Whereas Gordy retired from the Shawano County Sheriff's Office on May 6, 2021, and the Public Safety Committee desires to acknowledge and thank Gordy for his 31 years of service. Now therefore be it resolved by the Shawano County Board of Supervisors in session this 23rd day of June, 2021, that the County of Shawano publicly recognizes and thanks Gordon Kowalski for his 31 years of service to the residents of Shawano County, submitted by the Public Safety Committee.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Mark Boland, seconded by Milt Markwart. I guess we'll just turn it over then to the sheriff and George.
Yeah, we did have a retirement party for Gordy already, and we said a lot of nice things about him there. And we'll just continue on with that. But, you know, Gordy, again, thank you for all the years of service. As many of you know, Gordy supervised the detective division, not all of his career, but for a large portion of it, and did an amazing job. And some of the work that he has done is, you know, state recognized, and just the nature of the work with child predators, just that alone, there's a lot of people just can't do that kind of stuff, and he did it very professionally. And I want to thank you for your service in that, because it takes a special person to do that kind of work. It really does, and it's not easy. So thank you for the service, your service over the years. You've made our department better. You've made our community better, and I just want to thank you. And I'll turn it over to George then.
Yeah, I think the sheriff pretty much said everything there is about Gord. He just did a great job with criminal investigations, the whole detective unit. We've come a long ways since Gordy started, and a lot of that is because of his ideas and hard work. So congratulations, Gordy.
I don't know, I guess for once I'm at a loss for words. It was a fun run, I'll say that. Never in my life I would have believed I was going to be a law enforcement officer, and George will verify this. I came in for my interview the first day, and I was working as a mechanic at a local cooperative, and I'd taken a car out for a test drive, and I showed up in my mechanic's uniform, grease rag hanging out of my pocket for my oral interview. George thought I was there to check in for Huber, and I said, no, I've got this letter that I'm here for an interview, and he just kind of shook his head, and, you know, almost.
I said there's no way in hell I could ever get hired.
I knew nothing coming in. I knew absolutely nothing, and I don't know, I just saw what was going on, started running with it, and now here I stand in retirement. So it was fun. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, we have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 29-21. If you are in favor, you would vote yes. If not, you would vote no. And you notice our system is a little different. We're getting a little more of an update towards what will be the new one in the end. Rick and Jean didn't. Okay, we have a little, well, we have a little bit of a, oh, okay, down there. Okay. 25 yes, 0 no, 2 absent. So the resolution has passed. Item number 9, Resolution number 30-21, Pam?
Thanking Bruce Leiser for his 26 years of service to the residents of Shawano County. Whereas Bruce Leiser began serving as a correctional officer for the Shawano County Sheriff's Office on April 24th, 1995. And whereas Bruce has served diligently as a correctional officer, patrolman, and lieutenant during his career. And whereas as a lieutenant, Bruce made the safety and well-being of the Shawano County community and his coworkers top priority. And whereas Bruce volunteered his time as a leader of the cadet program, allowing youth the opportunity to experience the challenges and rewards of law enforcement career. And whereas Bruce has been a dedicated employee and held in high regard by his coworkers and employees. And whereas Bruce retired from the Shawano County Sheriff's Office on May 13th, 2021, and the Public Safety Committee desires to acknowledge and thank Bruce for his 26 years of service. Now therefore be it resolved by the Shawano County Board of Supervisors in session this 23rd day of June, 2021, that the County of Shawano publicly recognizes and thanks Bruce Leiser for his 26 years of service to the residents of Shawano County, submitted by the Public Safety Committee.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Kimberly Leffel, seconded by Gene Hoppy. Once again, the sheriff.
Again, I've only worked with Bruce for 6 or 7 years here at the sheriff's office, same with Gordy. But both of them, and Bruce especially, because I'm on the patrol side, he was always in the office. I got to work with him on the road a little bit. Outstanding worker, great work ethic. Promoted him as a lieutenant because he's a leader within our agency. A lot of folks look up to him, literally look up to him, and respect him. The youth in this community respect Bruce. A lot of the youth have the desire to get in and serve because of Bruce and his influence within the community. So again, thank you, Bruce, for all your years of service. Thank you for protecting and loving this community, and just thankful to serve with you. I'll turn it over to George now.
Yeah, Bruce has always done a great job. When I was his lieutenant, he was one of my go-to guys that if I needed something done, I would have Bruce do it because I knew it would be done correctly. And the same thing when he became a lieutenant. He was one of the go-to lieutenants if he needed something done. And I always tell him, when you do good work, you end up doing more work because we always want the best service for our citizens. But Bruce is a great guy. He's done a lot of work with the cadets program and the Explorers Post before that. So congratulations, Bruce.
I don't like giving speeches, but thanks, everybody. I appreciate it. I was hired in 1995, and it's been an honor to serve Shawano County. And just thank you, everybody. So, thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve. Oh, we have that done already. If you're in favor, then you would vote yes. Arlen? There we go. 25 yes, 0 no with 2 absent, so the resolution has passed. Thank you very much, gentlemen, to the both of you. We certainly appreciate it. And unfortunately, the trend is not where somebody stays for their whole career at one place. Nowadays, it's a year or two and out the door we go. Thank you for that. Okay, we will deviate. I would like to, for those of you that didn't notice, I would like to deviate to, let's see, where are we here? Item number 15, resolution number 36-21, the young lady that snuck in the back and is now seated up front. If you folks will approve that in the end, she is our new corp counsel. She is hopefully going to be a long-term employee for Shawano County. And with that, we would need a motion to approve. Motion by Randy Young, seconded by Kevin Conrad. Would you like to say a few things, Lorenda?
Sure.
Could you come over here, Lorenda, to the podium?
Hi, I'm Lorenda. I work in the DA's office currently, and if approved by you all, I will be the new Corp Counsel. I just wanted to say hi and let you all know that I thoroughly look forward to working with you all. I do have a plea sentence at 3:30, so I was hoping that you could all deviate from that to get me in here. So thank you. I look forward to working with you all.
And she's not late. I mean, she did have a court date too at 3, so she is going to be prompt after this. So does anybody have any questions or comments? Okay, seeing none, well then if you, oh. Okay, that works, but this doesn't. Try that. Okay, Deb.
This was actually on the previous two resolutions with the gentlemen both retiring from the sheriff's department. And I just wanted to say that I must be getting old because both those guys look too young to be retiring.
Okay, I'll have to watch over here then because it's not showing on my screen over here for a request to speak. And you should have a button now as part of the new system to where when you're done, you can tap it there that you're done speaking. I believe, does that show on yours, Deb?
It says cancel.
Yep, he's shaking his head, cancel, yes.
You should too now. It wasn't connected.
Okay, well, it shut off when I. Okay, it's working, you think now? Oh, okay. We'll go from there. Maybe that's why we didn't have no request to speak before. Okay, back to the task at hand. If you are in favor of approving Lorenda J. Mulson as the next Corp Counsel effective July 6th, 2021, and this was done in a little bit of a hurry. That's why we had a meeting before the meeting, because the executive committee approved making an offer to her. And then when she accepted the offer, that's why the minutes were agended. It was like last Thursday. And I thought we should hurry up and do the whole thing, because if she's going to start in early July, there's no use of postponing it until the executive committee next month and the board meeting, that's almost a whole month from now. This way everything is done and complete and everybody's on the same page. So if you are, oh, Sandy, you want to speak?
Question, normally we see a fiscal note that goes along with these positions. There is none.
Okay, that's probably because of the hurried put together where it never got to carry for a fiscal note. She is starting at, I believe, right around 90,000. And compared to Tony, that's going to be probably about a $25,000 savings. So that gives us that money to assist in, as you can see, she appears to be rather young. You're not supposed to do anything about age. Excuse me if I am, but, and she'll need a little assistance. And Von Briesen, our current attorney, Steve, volunteered that. He said, I think we can make a good public attorney out of her, he said. So we'll have a little extra money to work with in the budget then, from that angle then.
So she would need consult services, or we'd have
To a certain extent, yeah.
Okay.
There will be some, Sandy, because there's a lot of things to learn. And in our efforts of a search for another corporation counsel, we didn't get any applications from anybody who was like a municipal attorney or any experience at all. The labor market is extremely short right now.
Thank you.
So, all right, any other questions? Okay, seeing none, then if you are in favor of making Lorenda the Corp Counsel, all those in favor, you would vote yes. If not, you would vote no. Okay, 25 yes, 0 no, 2 absent. So as of July 6th, you are it, Lorenda. You then have 27 bosses instead of 1. Welcome to the group. Okay, then we will go back to our original order. Item number 10, resolution number 31-21 to restructure the Office of Emergency Management. Well, excuse me, Pam.
Identifying it under the direct oversight and supervision of the Sheriff's Office. Now therefore be it resolved by the Shawano County Board of Supervisors in session this 23rd day of June, 2021, that the position of Emergency Management Director shall, commencing July 1st, 2021, report directly to the Shawano County Sheriff. Be it further resolved that commencing July 1st, 2021, the Office of Emergency Management shall no longer be an autonomous Shawano County department, but shall instead be under the oversight and supervision of the Shawano County Sheriff, submitted by the Executive Committee and the Public Safety Committee.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Teresa Serrano, seconded by Richard Furfecki. Okay, questions or comments? Rick, would you like to come up and elaborate a little bit for us, or? Oh, excuse me, I'm in the wrong resolution. The sheriff, you'd like to comment on it? He volunteered to take it on. It is, under the fiscal note, gonna cost us more, but that's kind of unique because if you look at the other resolution that involves Jimmy doesn't take any benefits. And that's why he was a cheap emergency management director before. That maybe sounds poor that way, Kathy, I know, but, and he's a cheap coordinator, he will be, because he doesn't take any benefits at all hardly. He gets all his through the military. And that's what reflects the increase, but then you see the decrease in the other one. And between the resolutions we have today, there is a net savings overall. So we're not losing ground, we are gaining ground. And that's mainly because of the one resolution that will have the moving child support. There'll be a good savings there, it appears. Randy Young.
So is there somebody doing the job now?
Jimmy's been doubling up.
He's been doubling up? Okay, so there's nobody temporary or?
No, we didn't, never appointed no interim or anything at that point at all.
All right, thank you.
Because we still got to see first that we give Jimmy the full-time job here in this position. Then we got to address the other issue. Any other questions? Okay. Sandy Stinky.
I guess I want to hear how you're going to handle it, Chief Bieber. How you, well.
New position?
Yes.
Just like before, I asked that it be a lieutenant position, at a lieutenant position. I feel that the emergency manager is a important position to the county, to the cities, to the townships, villages. When shit hits the fan, we need to be prepared. So I think Jimmy has done a good job. When we were looking for different options, I thought it probably should come back to under the sheriff's umbrella. I want to make sure that we have some tabletop exercises in the future to work. We've done that with the city, fire departments, EMS. We want to continue to do that. So under my supervision, I want to make sure that that happens again. And looking for, we have a few people interested in the position. Hopefully we'll be able to fill it soon. If nobody internally qualifies, I'd like to go outside and see if we can find someone that's qualified to do it. So those are my intentions with the position.
Okay, because I know they used to always go out and visit all the different fire stations.
Yep.
And whatnot. I just
Attend the
wanna
fire, yep.
Make sure
And
that's still being covered.
Absolutely.
When we approved it, that item came up too, that's the first thing at the executive committee and public safety, that they have to continue that.
Okay.
The communication
Oh, yeah.
between
Yeah.
all the fire departments and emergency personnel.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Deb Nofke.
Ages ago, the emergency management was under the sheriff's department, and for some reason, we split it out. And Rick and I both remember that happening, but we can't really remember why. Arlen, do you remember why? You're the only other person that maybe was here then.
Oh, we were almost all here then, Deb. I remember it too.
Yeah.
Jerry
Does
could
anybody
possibly
remember
answer
why?
that a little better for you.
Oh, a Frank deal. Okay, never mind. I
Okay.
remember. Yeah.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Well, seeing none then, if you are in favor of moving emergency management back to the sheriff's office, resolution number 31-21, you would vote yes. If not, you would vote no. "24 yes, 1 no, so the resolution has passed. Next item. Item number 11, resolution number 32-21.
To appoint, excuse me, to appoint James A. Dable as the administrative coordinator effective May 19th, 2021. Now therefore be it resolved by the Shawano County Board of Supervisors in session this 23rd day of June, 2021, that they appoint James A. Dable of Shawano, Wisconsin, as the new full-time administrative coordinator for Shawano County effective May 19th, 2021. Be it further resolved that the county will pay Mr. Dable a starting rate of pay of $105,164.80 per year. Be it further resolved that the other benefits and obligations applicable to Mr. Dable shall be set forth as in the Shawano County Employee Handbooks and consistent with Wisconsin statutes, submitted by the Executive Committee.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Kevin Conrad, seconded by Steve Geetz. Questions or comments? We did hold a few interviews, and we made offers, and a couple of the offers, I believe, were just used to go back to where the other people were employed and get a raise because none of them accepted it. And then we decided to go back to see if Jimmy would be interested, and he jumped right on it. And he's diving in feet first, and I think he's doing a pretty good job. He's picking up. There's a lot to learn, but I haven't heard much for bad comments or anything from anybody. So, Gene Hoppy.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I believe that Jim is a perfect match for that job. I watched him, I looked at his resume, and I think he's perfect for the job. And as I noticed through the days that he's been dealing with the people, it's really, really good. So, Jim, I wish you the best.
Okay. Is there anyone else? And I can say the same thing. So far, when Jimmy was the interim, if you need something done, it gets taken care of. There's been a few little mistakes. Kathy kept lists now and then, letting them know that, but, so, it's in good humor, but he's coming right around. He's picking the job up very well, and things are going good. Jerry?
Yeah, I just got two things to say to Jimmy over there, being military. Jimmy, stay motivated and get her done.
Okay. Well, seeing no one else, I guess then if you are in favor of making Jimmy the full-time administrative coordinator, you would vote yes. If not, you would vote no. "25 yes, 0 no, and 2 absent." Well, you're it, Jimmy. Item number 12, resolution number 33-21.
To restructure the Office of Child Support, identifying it under the direct oversight and supervision of the Department of Human Services. Now therefore be it resolved by the Shawano County Board of Supervisors in session this 23rd day of June, 2021, that the Office of Child Support shall commencing July 1st, 2021, report directly to the Department of Human Services. Be it further resolved that commencing July 1st, 2021, that the Office of Child Support shall no longer be an autonomous Shawano County department, but shall instead be under the oversight and supervision of the Department of Human Services, submitted by the Executive Committee and the Human Services Department Board.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Sandy Stanky, seconded by Bill Swatala. Richard, would you like to comment on it, or do you want to have Rick talk a little on it? You should be on now, Richard.
Okay, there's a lot of counties in the state of Wisconsin that child support's under the umbrella of human services. And the biggest thing, we have a person in human services, Sarah Bartz, that'll be in charge of this, and it'll save the county $52,400 and some dollars, so it's a win-win situation.
Okay. Is there any questions or comments? The decision so far would move the remaining employees up to the new building, so that would also free up a little space in the courthouse. And there was some discussion about, they spend quite a bit of time back and forth interacting with the court and the corp counsel. But out of the discussions came the feeling that it's still more beneficial to have them up there than being partially separate down here in the courthouse, because most of the things are done right over the email and the computer, and that now there's not that much in person required anymore. So I guess, well, we got one. Well, that was, you were still, you didn't request to speak, did you, Richard? That was still left on then. Okay. With that then, if you are in favor of resolution number 33-21, you would vote yes. If you are not, you would vote no. $25 yes, 0 no, with 2 absent, so the resolution has passed. Item number 13, resolution number 34-21.
To authorize a transfer of $7,000 to the State Bureau of Aeronautics Shawano Airport Reserve Account. Now therefore be it resolved by the Shawano County Board of Supervisors in session this 23rd day of June 2021 that it authorizes the transfer of an Airport KIP 2020 budget appropriation of $7,000 to the State Bureau of Aeronautics Shawano Airport Reserve Account to be held there for funding the local share of airport projects submitted by the Executive Committee.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Deb Nofke, seconded by Kathy Lubke. Is there any questions or comments? This is our usual $7,000 that we send to the state every year that goes towards, instead of waiting for a lump sum payment when they do a project, like when they did the project they're working on right now, our portion was down there and in the account already, so we don't have to come up with a lump sum at one time. I believe this is, about 4 or 5 years ago, the board decided to move to this instead of taking the lump sum route. Gene Hoppy.
This $7,000 will also be equaled by the city. Am I correct on that?
Correct. That's just our half of the payment.
Thank you.
Sandy Stanky.
I somehow, well, I'm just back on the board for the first year. I thought that amount used to be like 4,500.
The payment that the county makes?
Yeah, to the Aeronautics Bureau.
I believe it was a lower figure, but everybody's looking for money and our costs go up, and
Okay,
so our portion goes up.
okay, and that happened this year,
It happened last year.
last year?
Our portion went up last year. The previous year was, I believe it was 4350.
Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what
So,
it used to
but
be.
but it did go up last year.
Okay.
So this is, as Tom said, this is the normal
The new
procedure,
normal
but
now.
it just went up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Did you have another comment, Gene?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Well, if there are no other questions or comments, and you are in favor then of resolution number 34-21, you would vote yes. If not, you would vote no. Oh, hold on. Deb?
Yeah, you could pass me. I guess I was just going to comment that usually what they use these funds for are leveraging to get grants. And this portion, if you look at it in terms of a 95% coverage and 5% kick-in, which some of those grants are, we get a lot of bang for the buck.
That's usually what the deal is, and that's where this goes to the state and gets saved up, so when they do a project, we don't have to come up with our share. It's there already, and it's spread out a little more evenly, and it's a lot easier to budget then.
Yep.
So, okay. Seeing none on either screen, then I guess if you are in favor of resolution number 34-21, you would vote yes. If not, you would vote no. John? 25 yes, 0 no, with 2 absent, so the resolution has passed. Item number 14, resolution number 35-21. Pam?
To authorize the expenditure of up to $400,000 to the Capital Improvement Projects Committee account. Now therefore be it resolved by the Shawano County Board of Supervisors in session this 23rd day of June 2021 that it authorizes the expenditure of up to $400,000 to the Capital Improvement Projects Committee account to be held there for the use of current and future projects, submitted by the Executive Committee.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Kevin Conrad, seconded by Dennis Knack. Last month, I had brought this up about we're going to have to develop a process of how we're going to handle that money, and we still don't have a whole lot better of a definition of what they're going to allow us to use it on, what we can and what we can't do completely with it. But in the meantime, since we are starting our cycle of KIP projects, there are several of them that are requested, and they would definitely be ones that would fall under the category of, say, like tourism. And I thought if we might as well get the ball rolling on it. And by doing this, this gives a little more money to the KIP committee to use on their projects, which normally then they would have to use, say, the little bit of ATC money that's left, and it's getting whittled down to where we can possibly keep that money and save that then and start using this on projects that we know will qualify under the certain rules. So if there's any questions or comments, this is just a start. I'm still looking for any suggestions from supervisors of a good way to handle just how we're going to appropriate that money. If anybody has any ideas, let me know. So we'll have to come up with something at the executive committee. A lot of the simple things they say are like sewer and water. Well, the county really doesn't have much for sewer and water to spend it on that way. And we can't spend it all. We don't want to on tourism projects. But this is just a start. We'll keep working at it. And I had said to the committee too, I'm sure when it gets to be next year, that I think the strings that are on it right now will probably be all cut because it's an election year. Then we'll probably be able to spend it on anything we want. So I don't think we have to be in too big of a hurry to race out and spend it. I think the restrictions are going to all disappear next year when comes election time. So if there is no questions or comments then, and you are in favor of resolution number 35-21, you would vote yes. If not, you would vote no. $25 yes, 0 no, and 2 absent, so the resolution has passed. Just out of, well, I'll do that a little later then. Item number 16, we covered 15 already, is annual reports. The annual report for the Highway Department is there. If you have any questions on it, you can call Grant, and I'm sure he'll get you an answer on it. Item number 17, report by the Finance Committee on general accounts.
General accounts for the month of May are in the amount of $489,396.58.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Terry Tipton, seconded by Gene Hoppy. Is there any questions or comments on general accounts? Dennis Knack.
I had a question about Enterprise FM Trust. Is this a monthly lease payment? How many cars are we leasing?
Do you know off the top of your head, Jimmy, how many cars we're leasing right now?
I don't know off the top of my head, Dennis, but I'll get the number for you.
This is item, Dennis, that was mentioned once or twice during meetings already at the executive committee level, that we want to look at the whole thing again and see if we're even really getting anything out of the leasing of the vehicles. Because it seems to me we always have quite a few sitting over there, and that's all they're doing is sitting there, not getting used. Well, if the program's costing us money compared to having our cars of our own, it was maybe a good idea at first and worked at first, but it doesn't seem to be being utilized hardly at all right now.
Otherwise, at $5,000 a month, you could probably buy 3 cars a year.
That's what we were talking about, Dennis, to where it's maybe time to quit it because of the mileage and not being checked out that much. And some of it maybe a little bit too where things slowed up because of COVID. When there were not that many meetings to go to, there was no county meeting, there was no highway road school this year, or last year, excuse me, things like that. So, but we were gonna talk it over and see, we may pull that idea all together after we get some numbers together. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, then if you are in favor of paying the bills, you would vote yes. If not, no. Dennis? There we go. 25 yes, 0 no. Item number 18, special orders and appointments. To the Commission on Aging, we need to appoint Dave Holberg and Deb Lidberry for an additional 3-year term. And I believe we normally handle these one individual at a time. We can do these together? Okay, the boss says we can do these together. So if you are in favor of reappointing David Holberg and Deb... Oh, excuse me. I'm jumping the gun. We need a motion and a second to approve. A motion by Mark Boland, seconded by Kevin Conrad. Okay, now we can go through and reappoint Dave Holberg and Deb Lidberry for an additional 3-year term. And we can do this by acclamation. If are you in favor, you would say aye. Aye. Opposed? Same sign. Motion carried. Item number 19, acceptance of committee minutes. Motion to approve committee minutes. Motion by Tess, seconded by Kimberly Leffel. Is there any questions or comments on the minutes? Okay, seeing none, I believe this we have to vote on, Pam? Acclamation. This can be acclamation? Okay, if you are in favor, then you'd say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 20, board member comments or new business to be considered at a future meeting. Mr. Wiesner.
I just had one thing that was brought up earlier as I came in today about live video or video for board meetings. I know it was done in the past, or it's been done for a few, and I guess I found out that some of it was based on cost. But
Some of it was, and the individual that was doing it, I believe, was working for the paper, if I'm correct. And he had some serious health problems, and that's why he pulled out of it. We can look into it again and maybe ask for quotes.
yeah, like I said, it was just something that was brought up to me by a couple people in my district.
Okay. All right, thank you. Okay, Tess, give it to him.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm here to remind you all of the need to increase wages for our county employees. As of this morning, I checked the county website, and there are currently 12 positions listed for employment, as well as 5 correctional officer positions that are open. This does not include the 21 vacancies in the Department of Human Resources per our attachment in our iPad. Isn't it alarming to any of us that we have so many unfulfilled positions for the county? What does that mean to you? To me, that means that we are at risk. We are at risk of not providing the service needed for our fellow county taxpayers who are asking for assistance in human resources, our libraries, accounting, social workers, as well as the need to maintain order in our jail. I'm asking the executive committee members to work with the HR personnel and cancel any contract we currently have with Carlson Detman effective immediately. We need to look elsewhere for another company who understands this county's needs and job duties, as well as proposing fair wages for all who are employed here. There are different companies out there that can be utilized to assist in suggesting a fair wage for our county workers and an adequate and up-to-date job description written. OEWS, which is Occupational Employment and Wage Statistics, they provide information from employers in all industry sectors. The SOC, Standard Occupation Classification, which lists 867 different job occupations. These two companies provide statistics needed to provide a scale for each position. We should maybe consider using them as a starting point. Our own HR department should be able to assist with this request without any issue. We need to make a change in order to retain our qualified employees and recruit new people for the 12 positions currently open. Let's step outside of the box and look at what we can do to increase wages and be the employer of choice. Isn't that what we should be striving for? We can use general funds to aid in this request. As I understand, the fund balance at $9.6 million. Even if we kept a minimum of 20%, we'd still be at 6.8. Maximum that should be in there is 8.6. We need to do something. We're losing way too many good people. Budget review is coming soon, and I'm afraid to wonder how many more positions are going to be vacated before that time comes. We need to do something now. So if you're maybe looking to spend $400,000, here's an option, but I know you can't. It has to go for tourism.
Well, not all has to go for tourism tests. We're looking at all ways that we can do things to try and make it more attractive to potential employees and the employees that we have. That's why the executive committee made the move that we did. And Jimmy said he's getting a ton of compliments from the employees that they're very happy that they no longer have to give up some of their paid time off, on which is a standard holiday for everybody. We are working a lot of angles, but the labor shortage is not just here, Tess. It's all over. There's help wanted signs. On the way down, when I drove past the casino at Wittenberg, they even had people sitting out there with a tent and in chairs where you could do a drive-through job fair and apply for a job. And it's not just us that are having the problem of
I understand that,
getting good employees
but
and keeping them.
I'm looking at the county's responsible actions to increase wages and retain good employees and get qualified candidates to come to this county instead of losing them.
Yeah.
So let's all get our heads together and figure out a way to make that happen before we lose a bunch more people.
Okay, is that it, Tess?
For now.
Okay, Kevin?
I was just going to comment on the videotaping the meetings. I think the last time that was looked into or discussed, one of the costs or the issues with that was it had to be closed captioned and everything as it was broadcast. And it got to be quite expensive to do that, but we could look into it more, as you said, so.
Okay, yep. Okay. Deb?
Yes. Tess, I like you, I do. You speak your mind. But I do also have to remind everyone why we're here is that Shawano County starts not from the courthouse doors inward, but outward. And we have to keep in mind the demographics of this area, some of the income levels. We're an agricultural primarily area. People do need services, but sometimes we provide services they don't necessarily need. And we do have to keep in mind that our wage scale has to be comparable and compatible with the people that we're taxing. Because the average person, especially some of the elderly, in at least my district especially, Social Security's not got very much of an increase at all this year, and that's what they're living on. And everything else is going up for them too. And they want to stay in their home. Or they don't want to let go of the family farm. Or it just, we'd love to be able to pay everybody $1 million here, but we can't. We have to keep in mind the people that we serve and what they can afford.
Okay. John Ainsworth.
Thank you. I think we also have to keep in mind that this economic impact money is probably a one-timer. And if we increase beyond our ability to pay from our own funds, it's kind of like buying a new car when you get your Christmas bonus. Guess what? In February, another payment is due, and you won't be getting a Christmas bonus in February. And so it's kind of a position we're in. Everybody that I know of thinks they deserve more than they're getting paid, or almost everybody. We just have to consider, if nothing else, going to referendum, and I think we can all guess where that would end.
Okay. Thanks, John. Anyone else? Okay, seeing no other requests to speak, then we will move on to item number 21, claim report. Pam?
For today's meeting, we have 25 members present, total being paid out for mileage and per diem of $2,280.44.
Is there a motion to approve? Motion by Bill Swatala, seconded by Terry Tipton. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, then if you are in favor of getting paid for today, you would vote yes. If not, you would vote no. "24 yes, 0 no, 1 abstain. Item number, so the resolution is passed, or not resolution, you will be paid for today. Item number 22, next meeting date is Wednesday, July 28th, 2021 at 3 p.m. I know quite often, I had said to Jimmy that when it gets to be this time of year, there gets to be a shortage of things for an agenda. So we'll see when it gets closer, but I think there's enough stuff going on to where it will require a meeting next month. If a few things come back in that are out there, for example, we are currently in the process of discussing with the sale of Lakeland property to New Cap, and if some of them items like that come forward, then we would definitely be having a meeting to take care of them. So with that, I guess we are up to item number 22, motion to adjourn. Motion by Aaron Damro, seconded by Kimberly Leffel. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.